Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 89 of the Generation Gaming Podcast. I am your host this week, Tyler. I'm joined by the usual cast of idiots and misfits. We have
I hope I'm
Jake.
a misfit.
Sure.
Damn. I'm doing good. Not even asked, but still.
It's implied.
That's all good. But I think I technically quit my job last Saturday, so I've been a week of unemployed putting in applications and shit.
Oh, technically? Like, what do you mean by technically?
Technically, I still work there. But yeah, put in applications and whatnot. Got an interview for a job Monday.
Well, that's nice.
Which kind of irritates the hell out of me, because I've been trying to get a new job for about a year and a half now.
And all of a sudden you got two.
Well, no, it's like getting a job for a year and a half now. People see they're still working at Walmart, and apparently they don't want to hire you. But the moment you said you quit, phone call. Like, I put an application in Sunday, and I got a phone call today.
Huh.
Nice.
Yeah. Maybe the reason why they do that is because if they see somebody that's actively working somewhere else, they probably think that you're not going to put forth the full effort or something like that in the job that you're doing. That's what immediately comes to mind and stuff like that, because I've been filling out job application things as well. I haven't had any callbacks and stuff like that, but I'm still currently working at my current employer and stuff, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good, buddy. I hope it works out for you. I hope you come back with good news next week saying you got a new job.
I hope so, because I don't want to go to work this weekend, because it's Walmart.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah. But,
alright.
No, that's it. Like, it's pretty much all I've been doing is that and playing Dragon Ball Z Universe, or Dragon Ball Universe, or Xenoverse.
Have you made any type of leeway or anything inside that game? I mean, you told me like before air that you were like at level 72.
I'm at level 72. I've beaten most of the main. I beat technically most of the primary storyline. Basically, for some reason, after I've beaten the main story, killed the guy who's been fucking up time. Suddenly, something else is going wrong with time, and like, I have to save Bardock from dying, even though he
dies anyway.
He dies in the most retarded way anyway. It's like I have to save Bardock from dying, even though he really made his life made no matter whatsoever, except that he spawned Goku and Kakarot and Raditz.
Yeah,
it's like, those two have already been born, so I can let him and Planet Vegeta die. Like he didn't put any strain on any of the universe whatsoever. And it's like, and from the way it put me into the fight, it's like, okay, so I'm having to fight 18 of Frieza's men. Yeah, we're in space above Planet Vegeta, so how come I just can't let him die? Because this is where he dies in the story. And it's ridiculous. So some points are easier than others, and this fight is ridiculously hard for some reason.
Have you had any type of like gameplay hiccups or anything while you're playing or something?
Mainly the camera angles. Like, the camera angles can get a little spotty at times, but like it's for like a half a second then.
Yeah, because I was watching a little bit of like gameplay footage today, because Giant Bomb had one of their quick looks and stuff for Dragon Ball, like Xenoverse and stuff. And immediately the first thing that I saw when I was seeing the gameplay aspect is, how the hell can you keep track of who you're fighting with the camera angles? Just like basically doing like these twists and turns and stuff like that.
The camera angle, like I said, the camera angles can be a pain in the ass, but like overall, like that's, even though it is a big part of the game, like, it really doesn't matter. Like, if that split second you probably get your ass kicked for that second, then you can come back and just tear house.
Oh, that's cool.
Like there really
Do you
is
think it's...
no. Sorry, but there really is no.
No, that's okay.
Like split seconds. Like, oh man, I fucked up for half a second. Then you just get your ass whooped. That's not this game.
You fucked up. You fucked up. Anyway.
If you continue to fuck up, then it's like, you fucked up. Yes, but luckily I haven't had that much problem. Unless you're fighting Hercule, then for some reason, Hercule's ridiculous.
Really?
Like,
well, they actually overpowered him or something?
In the story, yes. Like the people was like want you to fight Hercule while Goku's fighting Cell. And Tyler, I know you're falling asleep, and I'm sorry.
What?
But
that's a good answer.
It's like, for some reason, like, he could fly now, and he could fire Cloud Blast. Even Trunks is like, what the hell? Hercule was never able to fly. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he's kicking my ass. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Because, like, you can have mentors in that game. I don't know if I mentioned this last week. You can have mentors.
No.
Hercule can be one of your mentors.
Okay.
And I was planning a fight with one of Hercule's moves, because that's how you level up his training.
Yeah.
Like, you have to use his moves, or you have to use the trainer's moves in a fight. And, like, I was using a dynamite kick, which is one of his specialty moves. In a private match, and like just seeing the other person's health bar, and he's like, we're laughing. It's like, oh my god, I hit him like 4 times in a row with the dynamite kick, and nothing, just nothing's done. It's like, oh my
just
god,
no type of damage whatsoever, just like 4.
Yeah, it's like it does like maybe one little hit point. I was like, god damn, that's so ridiculous.
So what do you think, man? Is it like worthy of like say a pickup? Would you think?
I probably wouldn't say $60, but I've had $60 worth of fun out of it.
Oh, good.
I would probably say 40. Pick it up at 40, but the game is definitely fun. It has its own original story, and like, which is unique for a Dragon Ball game.
Right.
And it has RPG mechanics, like you level up, put your put your points into attributes, and your clothes have stat bonuses and stats decreasing shit. And it's like there's some points like I wish clothes didn't matter what your stats, didn't help your stats or hurt your stats, because
yeah,
I was like, there's some clothes in here I want to wear, but it just hurts my Cloud Blast supers way too much, and I was like, I don't want to wear it.
Yeah, I've been certainly on the fence about it, and I'm probably going to wait for a little bit, like, until, say, I can just get through a lot of the games that I have been playing, though. But before that, though, Tyler, how have you been doing?
Oh, awful.
I know we're talking about Dragon Ball, so please move on.
That's only made it worse.
It's like a low point in this week.
Yeah.
Oh god, I gotta listen to these two idiots talk about Dragon Ball. Oh.
I would most probably live the week I've had of spending most of the day on the toilet, no energy, pissy attitude, and a big ass canker sore on my mouth that hurts every time I talk.
Sounds like Royal Rumble 2015. Ayo.
Yes, except it's a week instead of
a night.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so we had to delay the podcast a couple days because of me being under the weather, and I'm sorry if I sound out of it or tired, because essentially I am. But I am trying to spruce up. I'm also gone 2 days without an energy drink
or beer.
Oof.
No, actually a lot longer than it's been a couple weeks since I had a beer.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
damn.
Well, yeah, maybe I think I did have one last week.
Yeah, you did have one last week.
I had one last week on the show. That's the last time I had any.
Oh shit, man!
So
you're going through alcohol withdrawal.
That and
yeah, he is.
I drink like 2 energy drinks a day, and I've had none in the last couple of days.
Oh god, he's coming down.
Yeah, it's basically no caffeine whatsoever. So yeah. But other than that, though, I did play a couple games. Still playing Pokemon Shuffle.
How far have you got?
I looked at. God damn it.
8,004.
No, I'm at 143.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think there's only 150 levels, and then there's
Jesus
some side levels.
Christ, dude.
Yeah,
That's
and then
balls
there's
You
deep.
beat any of the expert mode?
I beat a few of them. I can't. It's impossible to catch any of the Pokemon though. Like you beat the difference between the expert mode, and I've talked about the last couple weeks though. With the regular mode, you get you get X amount of moves per game. In the expert mode, you get a time limit, and each time limit differs on the Pokemon. Sometimes it's 30 seconds, sometimes it's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And this one's got like Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, like all the 3 legendary birds and a couple others.
Right.
And with the you want to knock out their health bar in like that time limit, and it's extremely hard to do. First off, and the percentage chance you have of catching them is based on how much time you have left.
Sure.
And you usually have, and it's like beating them is like 1 in 10 chance of beating them, and then you on top of that you maybe have a 1 in 50 or 1 in 60 chance of catching them. So it's basically it's not even worth like wasting your turns on those guys. I mean, you get if you beat them, you get a nice little experience point boost because your guys do level up and their attack powers go up. I am about 21 hours into it. I did put $10 into it now. I wanted to beat the game without putting any money in, but
You had to put money in.
Level 120 broke me, man. Like I spent 4 days building up all my coins because you get 500 coins a day.
Oh my god!
And then I built up those coins for 4 days. I tried going back, catching other Pokemon or leveling up the current Pokemon I needed to beat them. And it was like a Mega Gengar is what it was.
Oh shit!
And it was just and like some like more challenging. Like they were kind of like the boss Pokemon. Like every like 10 or 15 or 10 to 15 or 20 levels, they kind of grow larger. The gap between the boss Pokemon, but those ones can like every like 1 to 3 moves can do like things where they can freeze some of your Pokemon, so you can't move those ones, or they can just turn them to blocks. So you can't even do anything with them. You can't even match them or anything. So it just came possible, like to the point where he was freezing all but like one line of Pokemon, and I just couldn't do anything to combat him.
That's
so
like I don't know if you've gotten any more, but like Mega Kangaskhan, and like Mega Kangaskhan just wipes out everything in that row, like everything in the column or whatever.
Yeah, so they come in handy, but the problem is trying to build it up in
Right.
a certain amount of time, because like once you start freezing your Pokemon, it just gets harder and harder. You want like so. What I ended up having to do was like I put $10 down. I bought more turns, and I bought some coins. I think like 10,000. And I used like I used them. You could buy power ups like I mentioned before, and I bought like the Mega Evolve power up that starts you off Mega Evolve. It gives you that bonus like the Mega Genghis-Kong, where like if you match him up, he'll not like Jake mentioned, he'll take out every Pokemon in your entire row, which is great to combat like the blocks. When he freezes your Pokemon, it'll take out all those ice block Pokemon and all that. So I ended up having to do that and like buy like spending coins on like extra moves, and everything. So I eventually beat him, and then I moved on. And I'm at like I said, like 143 or something like that. So I'm close. I know Mewtwo is the 150, so I'm hoping to actually catch him. But still, I'm enjoying 4 days. I did buy actually Pokemon Trazi, is how you pronounce it. It's basically like I think I talked about last week. It's essentially the same thing, but the Pokemon Shuffle is a lot more fun. It seems like a more fleshed out, more fast paced version of Pokemon Trazi. So. I like I've said last week, I would gladly just bet $20 or $40 even on just a full retail version of Pokemon Shuffle. But I mean, Pokemon Trazi is fine for what it is. If you want to do the game as much as you want, but it's just not as fast paced, then I would say just buy Pokemon Trazi and avoid Shuffle, because it's super addicting. Obviously, for someone like me who avoids free to play games, avoids anything that's really free. I've never
At this
really
point, you can't say you avoid free to play games.
Yeah, but I've never really. I've tried out some here and there, but I've never really I've played it for like a few times and like a couple of days at most. I'm like, all right, I'm done. And this one, I mean, it's what 2-3 weeks now. I'm still playing it, so been doing that, and then also Resident Evil Revelations Episode 1. Came out last week, like I mentioned, and I finally got a chance to play it over the weekend. I've actually been really enjoying it. I'm sure you guys. I mean, if you go back to like all the way, probably I think it was like episode 1. I talked about Resident Evil Revelations, the first one.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed it, and it was a pleasant surprise. It kind of brought you back more to like the old school Resident Evil games that we liked, and this is kind of more of the same. If you can't take it too seriously. I mean, the story is just really ridiculous. It kind of starts off, you play as Claire, and then like Barry's daughter, I think Moira or
Barry.
Yeah.
Barry.
Where's Barry? But you started playing like you're like at a party, and like there's like oh god, what is it? The name of the company is like Terra Save that they work for, because not every terror ends with wrist. Terrorist, for people who don't get it. It's really good. So you get like this cheesy commercial at the beginning, like
so they don't work for the BSAA anymore.
No, so this one, I mean, it's kind of the same thing with, I believe, the first one. It's like they work for like a different company.
So essentially, they just work at like the NAACP, like BYOB company.
Yeah, pretty much. So they talk about like, you know, whenever there's like bio wars and stuff like that with like with those kind of weapons, like TerraSave is there to help and everything. You get this like really corny commercial at the beginning, and it starts with like you're at a party with Claire and Moira, I can't say the name, and they get like kidnapped. They end up like in this like prison, and you kind of end up like facing like these weird like, you know, essentially like, just. They're not really even zombies anymore. Like they're obviously humans, but they you know how crazy the Resident Evil series has gotten, how far away they've gotten from like the zombies at this point, and you end up like trapped in this like prison with them, and it's kind of like I'm thinking the way it's gonna happen is each episode's broken up into 2 chapters essentially. So the first chapter is with, like I've mentioned, Claire and Moira. Myra. I'm just calling Myra just for my sake. And it was about 45 minutes, and then you start off like so you find out, minor spoiler, you're actually like trapped on this like weird like island in the middle of the ocean, and so it starts off, chapter 2 kind of starts off you're with Barry, and he's going to go rescue his daughter on this island, and so each character, like Claire is like, she has like all the weapons, like the guns and like all the ammo, all like the grenades or whatever. And same with Barry, but with Myra, and then like Barry meets this little girl on the island in like a nightgown. They each have their own like special skills. Like I think the Barry, and I can't remember the little girl's name. I don't know if they've told us her name yet. But the little girl, it's kind of like reminds me of Last of Us essentially, where like the little girl, like if you squat down, you can actually like see like all the zombies around you and everything like that. And then also her special, she has like her own little unique power where she can her like unique skill, not power but skills, are like she can like throw bricks essentially like in Last of Us at the zombies and stun them, and it helps Barry out. Also she can like find like hidden items, like she points at, like you'll see like the blinking like of like a special item like you do in all Resident Evil games. She points them out, and then like literally points them out, and Barry gets them. And with Myra, she does kind of essentially the same thing, but like she has a flashlight, and she finds like hidden items. But I don't know, I'm really enjoying it. I like I said, I think I mentioned this before, but I bought the season pass already. Episode 2 is out now. I just downloaded it. I haven't got a chance to play it. But I would say if you like Resident Evil Revelations 1, check it out. It's $6 for an episode, $25 for the whole season. I mean, it's a pretty good deal. I imagine each episode's about an hour and a half, 2 hours, so not a bad deal. But like I said, the story isn't, I mean, it's a crazy little stupid story, but if you want more of that, that classic Resident Evil feel, this will give it to you. So that's kind of what I've been playing this week. And I know, Jack, you've been playing quite the games this week, so let's go ahead and jump into that.
Well, before I can go into my games and stuff like that, let me just say though, I've spent the last week I spent like about 4 days like across state pretty much, because I was going to this jazz festival and stuff, Lionel Hampton and stuff in Idaho. And up on the car ride, just to and from there, and so I was just playing a little bit of games here and there. I mean, I would be playing little stuff. I mean, nothing like long-winded or stuff, but I end up playing a little bit of Wario Land 3, which, hey, that's a classic one that I used to play and stuff. So basically, I'm just playing like a little bit, like just here and there and stuff. I get like about like one key for one level and stuff. It's not really too much in depth, but anyway, while at this at our hotel and stuff like that, something funny like really happened. I bring my Wii U along, right? Expecting that I was going to hook it up, you know, me and my roommate, one of my friends and stuff, play a little bit, maybe a Mario Kart, maybe some Super Smash Brothers, blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. Now, little did I know, because of so much like hurrying the morning of to get ready and try to get packed before the car ride and stuff like that, I forget two vital things. You guys want to guess what they were?
Your pants and the Wii U.
Power supply, and I'm gonna have to go with your pants or underwear. There we go.
Well, you know what? I did bring pants along. I did bring my Wii U along, though. But Jake was right on one thing. I forgot
underwear.
My fucking no. No, I forgot the power adapter to my freaking Wii U and the HDMI cable.
Oh. So you basically unplugged it from the TV in the wall and left?
Yeah, I basically did. When you're in such a hurry sometimes, you just tend to forget stuff because you're trying to get everything else, like maybe 10 tasks done at once. And, you know, it was kind of hilarious when I came back. Oh, there they were. My AC adapter and my freaking HDMI cable just still plugged into my TV. It's like, oh, god damn it. Son of a bitch laughing at me. Anyway. But, all was not lost, though. My roommate brought along his PS4 and stuff like that. You know, it's kind of funny. He asked me to bring along a DualShock 4 as well. I did, but we didn't end up using it. But, no, him and I were playing a little bit of Dying Light. Now, I have no experience just playing Dying Light because I never played any of the Dead Island sort of games that were inspired by the, you know. But, well, basically, we didn't do any type of missions. He was just showing me like a lot of the controls, a lot of the inventory stuff, like what you do and stuff. So basically, I was just running around wild and stuff, just testing out certain things. And he showed me how to drop kick stuff. Now, me being a big professional wrestling fan, I was just so enamored with drop kicks. Why? Because it just sounds so fucking cool. And he had like invested inside of like an item and stuff to where every time he would do a drop kick, the zombies would just, you know, just fly. Like, basically fly every time you execute a drop kick. So, I take control of his character, and we're at the top of the roof. I somehow parkoured my way up until this was one, like, roof. A zombie climbs up, so where I'm at, I'm facing off against the wall, and right to the right of me is, like, the top of the building and stuff, the drop down. So, what I went ahead and did is, I saw the zombie. The wall's right behind him. I run towards him. I drop kick the zombie. The zombie goes flying, hits the wall, ricochets down off the building. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
No, him and I were just like, what? They were just laughing in disbelief because of how executedly timed it was, too. It's like, oh, man. We were just in stitches because I would just keep on just drop kicking everything and stuff, and he would just be showing me a little bit like how to use projectiles, doing this and doing that, and I was just basically just trying to fuck up shit, you know? It's like, okay, what happens if I drop kick somebody into something there? I drop kick one zombie into another and it hits like an explosion, it goes flying in the air.
Reminds me of, I can't think of the name of what's the Gears of War knockoff game that...
Bulletstorm?
Bulletstorm.
Yeah, that's kind of what it reminds me of. Just like the crazy like combinations you could do with the enemies.
Oh, I know, right? But it's like it's not like Bulletstorm to the extent where it can just get like overall like craziness like that game. But in essence and stuff, there's certain cues that are borrowed from like Bulletstorm because of the craziness that you could probably do. But that's the only type of like instance where we played a little bit of Dying Light. I mean, he had Assassin's Creed Unity, he had this and that and stuff like that, but we didn't get around to playing any of that because no, the next couple nights were like just spent either like going to like restaurants, which oh man, those were some interesting times and stuff like that. So basically, while we went to this one Mexican restaurant, right? This is like on our second night, I think there, first or second night, I'm not too sure, but all of us are sitting around the table. It's just a bunch of the friends and stuff like that. We just get our food. And I'm laughing at one of my friends' jokes, and all of a sudden, I let out this big-ass fart. Right?
Oh.
And I'm just trying to keep my best just not to, like, draw attention to myself. And, it's like both of my friends beside me just go and start looking at me, and, like, one of my friends, like, he was also named Tyler. He looks at me, he's like, Gabe? Like in some like this concerned soft voice, and all of a sudden I just couldn't. I just took a little bit of a bite of my food, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I just started fucking laughing, and all of a sudden I just let out these uncontrollable like I basically let out these large ass farts and stuff. Everybody just stops what they're doing, looks at me, and I just stand up at the table. It's like okay. And I just walk out of the room, and everybody's fucking have tears in their eyes because of how loud I freaking did that shit. But no, the most hilarious part about that night in general was one of my friends and stuff. He is homosexual and stuff like that, and
I like how you preference that.
Well, he really doesn't conceal it at all. He loves to flaunt it. But no, he actually. Like, one of our people that was serving us food and stuff like that, he arranged a date with, like, one of the guys that was working there. His name was Juan. And it was just kind of funny and stuff like that. He arranged a date, like, after everything was all said and done or something like that. He was supposed to meet this guy at a certain point. He doesn't do that, and he ends up coming back to us, like, come back with us and stuff like that to play a little bit of Cards Against Humanity. It was just so funny throughout that night and stuff. We were like, okay, it's like, oh god, what's that crying outside the window? Is that Juan? It's like, oh, guys, stop it. You know, speaking of Cards Against Humanity and stuff, it's the first time I ever played it. It was like, during that first night and stuff. It was just so freaking hilarious because, for one, I tied for first place. We had depleted the entire deck. There was no expansions or anything to it. But, I got like about 9. And one of the other girls and stuff got 9 as well. But what was kind of hilarious about it was what ended up happening was right immediately off the bat I get like about 6 like cards or something in my favor, 6 black cards, and I'm thinking to myself, holy crap and stuff, and all the guys are like, oh, what the hell? But yeah, there were some funny combinations of cards and stuff that were had and stuff. I can't really remember for the life of me, like which ones they were. But anyway, moving on and stuff. I mean, a lot of that time, like in Moscow, was just spent like walking around the University of Idaho campus and stuff. Just basically just going to various like music related things. We did our performance stuff in front of adjudicators for singing jazz for our jazz ensemble. We spent like, oh my gosh, about a total of maybe like 13, maybe 14 to 15 hours or so on the road, like to and from, because you gotta understand this here. Where I live at, the town of Port Angeles, it's like almost out nowhere inside Washington State. And so to go to Moscow, it takes like about 7 to 8 hours across the state in order to do that. So every couple hours we're having to take like breaks, do this, do that. But after all that, like, I know everything's gonna tie in, guys, I swear. But after that whole like vacation, the whole vacation, school trip, whatever, got done and over with and stuff, we returned about 4 o'clock or so on Saturday, and later on that night, I tried to play a little bit of Secret Ponchos, a game on my PS4. But as I was trying to play it, I was almost nodding off to sleep because I was thinking, oh my god, because I was just thinking back on the trip, I had like about 3 hours of sleep the night before, had like about 4 or 5 hours the night previous, and then obviously going into the trip, I only had like about maybe 5 hours of sleep, and so my lack of sleep just started to catch up with me. So I lay down in bed like around 7 o'clock in the afternoon, 7 o'clock at night. And little be knowing, like next morning or something like that, I wake up like about 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, whoa, how long was I out? I checked the clock, I checked what time I slept during the last night. I had slept for 14 hours straight.
Nice. That was good.
Oh my god, and the crazy part about it is, I was so tired, I felt like I wanted to sleep more.
Yeah, that's what happens.
But,
Actually.
yeah. What was kind of hilarious about it is my mom ended up like washing my dress clothes and stuff, and she told me last night, it was like about an hour after I went to bed or something, she said that I went ahead, I grabbed my dress clothes, I hung them up in my closet, and I went back to sleep, like in a drunk thing, like, whoa, because I have no recollection of this whatsoever. But, speaking of kind of like sleep deprivation stuff, it was just kind of funny sharing a room with with one of my friends and stuff, because he has a tendency to like sleepwalk and say stuff in his sleep. So he tells me this one like story or so about he was on a previous school trip, and basically his friends like playing Xbox 360 and stuff, and he basically sits up, he's still asleep obviously. And he just goes to his friend, it's like, oh, hey, guess what you got? And the friend just slowly looks back at him, and he's like, AIDS!
Oh my god.
And he goes back to sleep. Yeah, no, that's what I had to contend with and stuff during my stay at Moscow, too.
So, is this all tying into the fact you have AIDS now?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No. Just one little brief thing before, like, I actually go on to
just
game
one brief
stuff.
outbreak.
Just one brief outbreak. Yeah, that's right. during the nights I was just like sharing the room with him and stuff, he let out this fart, right? And it was just kind of hilarious. It's like right like 3 o'clock or so in the morning, and all of a sudden I just hear him go, "Oh, that's better."
Oh, God.
I know. Then the next night, it's like I just get out of the bathroom and stuff. I'm about to go underneath the covers. It's seriously like about 2:30 or 3 in the morning, and I just hear him inside of like a tired like stupor. It's like, oh, good job, Gaberino. I knew you could do it.
Gaberino?
That's what he called me in his fucking sleep.
That's slightly creepy. Is that like pet names you have for each other?
No. I think he just made that up on the fly in his subconscious or something. They tend to call me Gabe, but that's just something else. But anyway,
real quick, this is funny. I have a buddy of mine that for the longest time thought your name was Gay Bambino.
What? Bambino.
Gay Bambino.
Bambino.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. He's drunk all the time, so he just misread your name.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Bambino. Wow.
Yep.
You know, it's kind of funny that I uploaded one of the photos of the restaurants that I was at, and it said Gambinos. So yep, I wonder if he actually read that.
I saw that picture, and that's why I liked it. It's because it reminded me of it reminded me of Gay Bambino.
Okay, so fast forward, I had just woken up from my 14-hour slumber, and I turn on my 3DS, I connect up to the eShop, and I noticed they were having, like, a slew of Virtual Console games released that I was not expecting. They released, Nintendo last Thursday, I think it was, released all 3 Donkey Kong Land games and Donkey Kong Country games. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my god, I know what my day's gonna consist of.
Donkey Kong Country 2.
Mostly that, but what was hilarious, I had like about $20 like on my eShop account because I was intending to try to download some on my Wii U in order to try to play it, but I never got around to it.
Well, it's hard when you don't have the plugins.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Oh guys, I got my game console, got all the games and all those controllers. Oh, I forgot the power cord.
Not necessary.
That's what one of my friends said too. It's like, because he was trying to help me set up the damn console. It's like, oh my god, you did not just forget the power cord. Yeah, I did. So I used the most of my $20 in order to download all of those games.
Oh, wow.
Well, I had all 3 Donkey Kong Country games previously on my Wii's Virtual Console, so I got them for like about $1.50 a piece, which, you know what, not bad. It's better than spending $8 a piece. But the major games I wanted to invest was the Donkey Kong Land games, because I remember vividly playing those as a kid. A lot of my time this week was spent playing Donkey Kong Land. And oh my god, you know what? Yeah, the game looks poorly because it's a Game Boy game. Obviously the graphics are not going to beat that, like, you know, crisp or pristine. But the gameplay is pretty fucking solid. I mean, precise even. So much so it was kind of amazing just to hear a lot of the musical tracks from that freaking game, because a lot of them are copied and pasted from the, you know, the actual Donkey Kong Country games and stuff like that. So I made an effort to try to collect all the Kong letters and all that shit. And I'm stuck right now at World 3 in one level because I can't, for the life of me, find the beginning, like the K inside this one level. So obviously I stopped there. But I ended up buying a couple of games, too, over the past couple days. And you know how much I love Pokemon, right?
No, I never figured you were much of a fan.
No, you were a fan of Pokemon.
I thought you hated it about as much as I hate Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, your guys' sarcasm is just intoxicating tonight. Anyway.
And he
I guess what
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I do love Dragon Ball Z.
No, not Tyler.
Don't you dare ever say that again.
So, I dug myself deep down the rabbit hole and bought myself Pokemon Alpha Sapphire.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
And I bought Tomb Raider for the Xbox One.
Even though it is free for the 360, which you don't have.
I don't have a 360. I wanted to play on the newer consoles. If I had a 360, I would have downloaded it already.
I won't lie. I'm kind of tempted to just like get Xbox Live for a month on my 360 and just because BioShock Infinite is on there for free as well, and just get the DLC for that, play through that because I really want to do that.
Well, you know what? If you have interest, then do it. I mean, for God's sakes, even if it's like a 1 month
sure you
card.
can find a 2-day trial.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to find like a 2-day trial or something and just download.
Yeah, there you go. So, I began Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, right? And I end up like choosing a female trainer, and I give it the nickname RKO for my freaking Pokemon trainer. I just wanted to have it be my playthrough. It's like I just absolutely do not give a shit. So I go through, I name my trainer RKO, and it was just so hilarious because the first thing, it's like, it's like hello neighbor, RKO. It's hilarious. Every time I'm talking to people now, it's like every beginning sentence or like every portion of every sentence, it's like it starts off with like a brief pause, and all of a sudden, RKO. So yeah, I started off with like a Trico or something like that I give the nickname DDT.
God.
It just shows you how much engrossed I am with freaking professional wrestling that I have to go on my Pokemon game and just start doing references like that. But anyway, that makes the shit entertaining and fresh too, because I played through the game like last year as well, so it's like. But to finish up the bit of the Pokemon talk, since you know what, fuck, I've played and talked so much about this fucking game already. I've just decided just to go with whatever. So I went with Trico, and I'm just trying to train like a little Wingull as well. But anyway, that's pretty much with the Pokemon stuff. But I did play a little bit of Donkey Kong Country, but not so much that I can talk about it, because hey, it's Donkey Kong Country. It's a great game. I'll have more about it when I can. But last night, to conclude a bit of my gaming stuff, I played a little bit of Ollie Ollie 2. Now, Ollie Ollie 2, Oddworld New and Tasty, let's see here, Counter Spy, and what was the last one? I forget about it now. It was something else. Oh, Jesus criminy. Well, anyway, four games released for free on PSN on Tuesday, and one of the ones that caught me off guard was Ollie Ollie 2. For one, it's a new game, and for another, it's a sequel to a game that I played last year that was really fun. So I went about an hour inside of it, and I was already unlocking like trophies and already unlocking like I basically went through the entire first world of that game, and I got every little star or something on the regular stages. I have not attempted the pro ones. But, I don't know, it was just kind of hilarious how I could just pick up a game, like, say, skateboarding games in particular, because I'm an old, like, Tony Hawk pro skater type of guy where I love to play those games, I love to get everything in them. Same thing applied with Skate as well. But for Ollie Ollie, it's like, okay, gotta hold down the control stick, gotta try to time it just right so I can get it perfect, and somehow have to try to figure out the freaking, like, the freaking, like, manual system and all this shit. It was just like an hour of me just, like, bullshitting around. It just made me seem like, I really just kind of felt like a pro bowl playing this shit, too. It's just like, okay, land this. Now do like about 25, like a 25 hit combo or something like that with this freaking skateboarding thing. But anyway, I'll have more on Ollie Ollie 2 next week because that game's incredibly fun. And seriously, if you have PSN, if you have PlayStation Plus in general, that's worth the download. It's available on Vita as well, so for those who don't have a PS4, that's interesting. The last game I'll talk about before we finally move on is Oddworld New and Tasty. Now, Oddworld New and Tasty is just like an HD version of Abe's Odyssey for the PlayStation. When I started off this game, I just decided to go, because I had not played Abe's Odyssey, just to see how much I would enjoy it and stuff. I mean, I've played a little bit of Munch's Odyssey when I had a PS3. That was pretty decent. I played it. It's sort of like a 2.5D platformer. You're collecting, like, Madokans and stuff. You try to save them all from this evil corporation that wants to turn them into all sorts of various, like, foods and something to try to, like, you know, to try to earn a lot of profit and stuff since they've wasted a lot of the planet's resources with killing off a lot of the livestock and whatsoever. I get, like, about an hour or so into this game, and I'm in that mentality where I have to collect all these Madokan stuff. I gotta save them all. If I lose one, I am not going to save. I am just going to turn this game off, and I'll return to it later. So that's pretty much what happened. I go through the first part of the world. I save like about 9 of them. And I accidentally quick save over like one of the ones that I let die. I'm like, nope, I'm starting this over. So anyway, yes, that's pretty much what I have been playing and what I've been doing over the past week.
Okay. Very nice. We actually do have some topics to actually discuss this week, so let's jump into them real quick.
Okay.
Nothing major happened. GDC is going on this week, and PAX East is going on this weekend. So a lot of the big news for PAX East will obviously probably be out by the time you listen to this, but we've had a lot of news, nothing major, major to talk about. But kind of first up, so the Marth Amiibo, that Nintendo mentioned in the last Direct would be coming back for in the stocks so people can use it with codename Steam. It's coming back in, I believe, late April. So
cool.
Yeah, it's a big one. That's gonna help with stopping the people trying to sell them on eBay and Amazon and all those sites for ridiculous amounts of money.
Yep.
It kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping. I was assuming when they announced it, I thought for sure it'd come out on March 13th with codename Steam. Kind of surprised they're pushing it. It's almost, I think it's gonna be 4 to 6 weeks later that they're gonna bring it out. Yeah,
the game comes out like on March 13th, but they're pushing the Amiibo to April.
Yeah, so kind of weird to me. You think you want to hit while strike while the iron's hot, and I don't think they're kind of doing it right now. The buzz of codename Steam, if there is any when it comes out, will pretty much be long gone by that point. What do you think, Jake?
I'm not really sure. Come back to me.
Okay.
Come back to me. I'm not positive.
Tyler, what do you think?
Are you HIV positive?
Nope, that would be Jack.
Okay. What about you, Jack? Yeah, God. What do you think, Jack?
I think it's a wasted opportunity considering that their major feature, not the major feature, but one of the features that they're toting is have a Marth figure in order to play in codename Steam. And so having to wait a couple weeks just in order to do that seems kind of stupid.
Yep. Doesn't make as much business sense as they like. And I mean, I guess The only thing I can think of is I think Wave 4 of the Amiibos comes out in like late March. I think it's like around Mario Party, which is like March 20th, I think, is when they're going to start releasing like Wave 4. So I guess maybe they're trying to avoid it with that. But at this point, there's so many freaking crazy people out there trying to get these Amiibos. I don't think it'd make too big a difference. But other than keeping them in the headlines, I guess. What about now, Jake? Are you positive you have something to say?
I'm kind of concerned why you asked me something about Amiibos when
yes, no.
I don't have a Wii U. I don't have Amiibos. My general opinion is the assholes that just went off and bought all the freaking Amiibos that prevented them from, and the fact that are douchebags, and the fact that they had a short run of select Amiibos are kind of annoying when you have a game like Codename Steam coming out, but it has this character. Chances are you probably don't have this Amiibo, but congratulations, you can get the game. You can get the Amiibo after the game's already out.
Yeah, it's typical, Nintendo. Do one cool, do one.
They
cool
don't
thing,
have
then,
the supply to meet their demand.
I think it's just. I think they purpose. I don't think
that's a great business strategy.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Keeping the supply of these short. The supply and demand, is high. But I don't know. It is really a frustrating time though. Like when there's a lot of people out there that legitimately want these things for collections or to use for their games,
and then you had the resellers.
Yeah, like the gold Mario Amiibo is like extremely hard to get right now, and you see everybody you see hundreds of posts on eBay, people selling them for $200. So
yeah, fuck that shit.
Yep, fuck you and fuck those people.
I will say this Martha Amiibo looks awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I think I still might get if I can get one without having to if I can get one legitimately through like a company. I'll probably still pick it up. Are you interested in Codename Steam at all, Jake?
Not really. Okay. I'm not really. I keep my 3DS for Pokemon.
Okay.
And maybe Legend of Zelda.
All right. I didn't know. I just wanted to gauge your interest in Codename Steam. What about you, Jack? Are you interested in Codename Steam at all?
Yeah, I'm interested in playing it. Only because it's another interesting game that sparks my appeal and stuff for the 3DS. Though at the same time, I've got Majora's Mask. I got Monster Hunter 4. I got the Donkey Kong Land games, which I'm currently playing. It's like, Jesus criminy! It's like the last few years I've just been spending a lot of time just playing my 3DS. It's like my freaking It's like my freaking console of choice.
Yeah, not a bad way to go.
But probably later.
Okay. All right. So obviously I'm getting it day one, so I'm sure not next week, but in 2 weeks I'll probably have some time into it to talk about it. But let's move on to some other topics that were kind of announced over the week with GDC.
Yay.
Wolfenstein is getting some standalone DLC that's coming out only on the PS4 and Xbox One, and I imagine Steam as well.
Huh.
$20 is a prequel to the Wolfenstein reboot that came out, I think, this past May. You don't need the game. You don't need Wolfenstein to play it. It's like I said, standalone. $20. I believe it's like 2 chapters. I'm pumped for this. I think I put like Wolfenstein in like the top 5 or 6 games of the year.
It was definitely in your top 10.
Yeah,
I know it was in my top 10. I just can't remember the exact location it was, but I was hoping for Wolfenstein. I wasn't expecting Wolfenstein 2. I would have been happy for one, but I will gladly take this, especially it's coming out in May 5th, so that's 2 months out as around this recording time. So, like I said, I'm pumped. What about you guys? I don't think you guys have played Wolfenstein yet.
I want to play the New Order before I play this DLC. Like, Wolfenstein has always been one of those games that I wanted to play, but never really gotten around to actually playing.
Okay.
Same. But, it's a prequel, right? So,
Yeah. Let's go and move on to our next topic. So Sony is the first one to announce a release date for their VR headset, Morpheus. It's supposed to be coming out spring 2016. I think they're kind of setting the pace or the bar for this for these VR headsets. I want to kind of gauge your guys' interest. Are you guys planning on getting one of these things, or like what are you expecting, or what are you wanting out of these things?
You want to go first, Jake?
Sure. For me, it'd be pretty short, but I really don't have any interest in VR. So, in order for them to get me to buy this probably $300 product, there has to be something that catches my eye, literally, because like I don't want to be I'm already the person that plays video games in the bedroom. I don't want to be the God, was it movie called or show called?
Gamer?
No, not gamer. Fucking
okay.
God, there was a show.
Was it a show or a movie that had
It's a show. It's an anime.
God bless it. Sword Arc?
Yeah.
Online?
I don't want to be a part of Sword Art Online where I'm laying in my bed for fucking 2 years playing VR game. But there has to be something that catches, it has to, there has to be something out there, some software out there that will turn me around. Yeah. I think this might be a 3D gaming similar to that. It's it'll be around, it'll be 3D, it'll be here for a while, but it's probably not gonna hit.
Yeah. So, what about you, Jack?
I'm in agreement with Jake, as I don't have very much interest inside the 3D type of the VR type of stuff. I mean, in my honest opinion, it just feels like it could have the potential of being, say, sort of like how the whole motion control DLE started off with, say, Nintendo and then Sony and Microsoft coming in and just doing their own type of reciprocals and stuff like that. But really, in order for me to try to invest in something like that, the games have to be there. And because of Sony's track records with accessories, I have no confidence that this thing is going to be going on more so than maybe a year or two at most. Because
they gave you Silent Hills with this device?
I don't
PT
know.
with the free demo of PT with this device.
Dude.
No, it had to be some software things, or hardware thing. There's several products where you can get Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4 if you bought this capture card or bought this card. I'm figuring they might do something similar to that, but you get Silent Hills, which will scare you the fuck off. From actually wanting to put that headset back on.
Yeah. I've seen videos with with people trying out the Oculus Rift and stuff, playing these scary games and stuff like that. It's entertaining
and stuff like
that. Yeah, like Outlast and stuff. It's entertaining to watch them though, but no, my main concern is
I'm a pussy when it comes to horror games. So if that happens, nope. Good luck.
Yeah,
I'll let you fall out of your
I wouldn't
chair.
even go into the freaking. I wouldn't even go in the mansion and Outlast with the VR on.
No, my main concern is if I buy this product, if I actually buy this product, if I play a game or something like that, and all of a sudden I feel just incredibly nauseous or motion sickness, since I've had cases in the past where I've played games like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, and I would just get sick after playing a half an hour because of all the freaking all the movement and stuff, and the notes just coming towards the screen and stuff. That is going to be maybe the one thing that I do worry about. But, like I was saying before and stuff, I just don't trust this Sony VR thing, because of their track record with accessories, their discontinues and stuff as well.
Well, the Kinect, people didn't want the Kinect for the Xbox.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
The camera for the PS4, they didn't package it with it.
True.
And for a while, it was sold out.
Yeah, because people wanted to host their own webcam things of them, people watching them as they're playing games and all sort of stuff.
Having
sex.
It
was exactly the point. That wasn't really used for say innocent means too. I mean, we had people freaking having sex on their freaking their freaking PlayStation cameras and shit. Yeah. Well, anyway. Tyler, go on ahead with what you're going to do.
Well, kind of my look at this is, I think it's, like I said, Sony kind of setting that bar for all right, they're the first one to kind of give us a release window. So I see there's what I think AMD's making one, Valve's making one, Xbox, Microsoft has one, Sony has one, Oculus of course,
Facebook has one.
And watch Nintendo try to come out with one too. I kid you not.
Yeah. They'll probably have
That's
one
going to be their
in
quality of life
Nintendo.
shit. I guarantee you.
If,
No,
if,
it'll be
if Nintendo comes out with one, they're probably going to go bankrupt because no one's going to buy
probably.
it.
But my kind of look at it is it's kind of like I said, setting that bar. I think we're going to start hearing everybody else, or maybe E3, maybe a little later, about them giving out release results. It's probably going to rush some stuff out to production. We might get some this fall now that might not be ready, or it could coming out early might be a good thing. Maybe just waiting until it's completely ready could be.
Don't be the first, be the second.
Yep.
Yeah, but at the same time, I look at it. You don't want to be the third, fourth, fifth, or sixth too, because I mean, what if these things come out and they're a dud, and then like, all right, well, we just put all this money in this thing. Like, didn't Facebook just spend like $1 billion or something on the
I
Oculus?
think it was $2 billion. No.
Yeah, so I mean, they invested a lot of money in this.
They had
thing.
a lot of confidence in it.
Yeah, so
You can have Farmville on your Oculus.
yeah, so I think it's I don't know. I think it's a ballsy move to do. It could could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Obviously we're a year out from finding out. But I just see the whole VR thing. I think it's dead in the water before it even gets the opportunity. It could be the next big thing in gaming. But I just
It's like
think
all these adults with their freaking controllers. I'm using my head as camera.
Right.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Like,
I think just it could get us into that next. Like we always talk about what's the big thing of this generation of consoles. This could be it. But I look at it from the standpoint. It's almost like when you look at like the market crash of video games in the '80s, where one of the biggest issue was everybody made a console. Everybody had their own console, and there was 1,000 video games out, but only 5 of them were good. And it just
that sounds very similar to nowadays.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but I see the same thing with that time though. Video games weren't as established as they are today. With this, VR is at that same point where they're not established. We're hearing a lot of great buzz about them. We're hearing some cool things about it, but it hasn't got out to the open market yet. And I think what the problem is we're going to have certain publishers backing this companies, and then certain publishers are backing this one. And it's obviously Sony's going to have their exclusives. Microsoft's going to have their exclusives.
Yep.
And if you want to enjoy all these games, you have to buy every single one.
Ugh.
And I think it's just no one's going to want to invest that. Everybody's going to maybe buy one, maybe two at most, and it's just. And I see it. I look at it, and like Jack kind of mentioned earlier, it's with the Wii was a phenomenon. It was just this no man's salt coming, and then we got all the shovelware out. Like we're getting 8 games every week, but only one of them was good, or one of them was worth playing. And then the Kinect came out, and then the Move came out, and they just flooded the market even more. And we just got we're gonna be really serious about it this time. We're gonna put some serious games into it, and like there's 6 months, everybody abandoning that, and I see that happening again. That being said, I'm hoping that this weekend I might get a chance to play the Oculus.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
So look for a retraction next week.
Oh no.
Well, I'm not dismissing. I think the VR has the opportunity of being really cool, and it very well could be a cool thing. I just think the business side of it, where every big company out there is releasing their own version of it, is going to ruin the market and flood the market before these things have a leg to stand on. So I'm not dismissing the technology. I'm just dismissing the fact that this is going to be a big deal in 5 years. I think it's going to be another flash in the pan, like motion, like the motion controls.
You know what I think though? I mean, you touched a little bit upon this and stuff, Tyler, but you were saying that maybe like the motion, the whole Oculus Rift and this whole sort of like virtual reality type of thing may catch on or something like that to maybe define this generation. I mean, it has the possibility and stuff, but I mean, it could. I mean, hell, this generation thing is still early. I mean, we probably have like another 10 years or so inside this generation. So
I'd say 6 at the most.
I think
before we get the new ones.
like maybe 5 or so. But I think what's probably going to end up happening is maybe more, and this is a long shot, maybe a little bit more variety in terms of like maturity inside games. Like not more or less like say one accessory dictates what. Like say like with last generation with Wii and this and stuff. But I think maybe like in terms of say diversity of like what. Like, let's say what characters, what type of stories they'll delve into. Maybe more dark type of stories in certain aspects. But I mean, we've already had those type of like things right now, though, but maybe much more detailed. I mean, we've had glimpses of it last generation, say with like The Last of Us and stuff, plus stuff like that. I think we'll see a lot more of like games like that that'll like shape this generation, though. But that's another topic in general.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, we can discuss that at a later date. But I kind of agree with you in that. But let's kind of move on to our next topic. This one's more for me than anything. Metal Gear Solid 5 now has an official release date. Yes, September 1st.
September 1st, dude. It's like the same
Yes.
week as that Mad Max game as well.
Same day as Mad Max.
Oh,
I don't know
damn.
about Mad Max.
God damn.
Oh,
Nothing
gee.
else matters.
I don't know,
care.
man. It might have a huge competition with Mad Max.
Nope, don't care. This game, Madden can come out on September 1st. I don't give a shit. It's Metal Gear Solid 5.
All of a sudden, we just read
Yes.
on Tyler's like freaking Facebook. Guys, I got both games. Help.
No, I'm gonna get both games. No doubt about that.
He's
But
going to be playing Madden on the PS3 on his Xbox 360 while watching the cutscenes from Metal Gear
yes, it might happen. I don't know. I might get a Vita, just do crossbow. Who knows? It might be that crazy. God, I'm so excited. They even showed this collector edition. It's $100. I want it so damn bad.
There's even
Apparently
classic PS4 things too.
This is going to be your game of the year.
This will.
I
It's
would
good.
I'm calling it now.
Dude, if it's not, it's going to be the biggest disappointment of my entire life as far as gaming goes.
So I would go all out either way.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
I'm gonna put-
just think about it. You're going to pay the $100. You might get a snake statue.
It's all good.
And if it's a huge disappointment, you can record yourself breaking the statue.
no. I can't. As bad as that game could possibly be, or big a disappointment it could be, I can't do anything bad to Snake.
You just see his facial
Yeah,
reactions like throughout the game. All of a sudden, it's like, what the hell did they do?
We hear Jake nerd out about Dragon Ball. We hear Jack nerd out about Pokemon.
When was... Alright, yeah, I've talked about Xenoverse. Alright, I've talked about it. When have you heard me nerd out about Dragon Ball?
You guys talked on several occasions, long periods of times about Dragon Ball.
Well, that and Yu-Gi-Oh as well, but
Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll admit it. We've nerded out about Yu-Gi-Oh! And a little bit about Pokemon, because we actually sung the Johto rap.
Yes.
But
Snake, it's a trap.
I will say, it's like, when did I actually nerd out about it? I played the new game that released last
I'm
week.
not.
Yep.
I'm just saying, over the course of our podcast, you've had your nerd out moments about Dragon Ball. You both have.
I've talked about the Battle of the Gods movie.
Yep.
For maybe 2 minutes, and
He's
then
really sensitive about this whole Dragon Ball nerd
no,
thing.
you're making me. It's like I nerded about Dragon Ball. You're lying. That was a lie.
I'm just okay. I'm not. You're taking. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just saying that's your thing. Like you got, like Metal Gear is my thing.
Yep.
Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh is your thing.
Yep.
And Pokemon is really Jack's biggest thing on the show. In the history of the show, those are probably the biggest things we've talked about. In the 89 episodes we have spent on this show, those are probably the things we spent the most amount of time talking about.
Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, definitely.
Yep.
Metal Gear Solid for you, yes.
Yes.
Carry on, Tyler.
Anyway, continue.
Well, this is going nowhere. Let's move on to our last topic of the week. I'm a little more awake now. Thank you for that, Jake.
You're welcome.
Dangan Ronpa 3.
You were about to say Dragon Ball.
He was.
I was about to say Dragon Ball.
No, he's got it on the mind.
It's unfortunate too.
He's going to watch all 200 episodes.
Oh God, no! Suicide's a better option.
Oh,
Suicide is a better option because a lot of that filler is bad.
Yeah, I'm sure. But Danganronpa 3 has been announced that is in very, very early development for I'm assuming the Vita. So this is I know Jack has played both of the Danganronpa 1 and 2. I keep wanting to say Dragon Ball, damn it. Danganronpa 1 and 2. So Jack, I'm gonna allow you to nerd out about this if you'd like.
Well, it's just like a basic, it was like a GDC thing that just popped up in the past couple days. It's just like a basic confirmation. It's like, yeah, the person that did the Dangan Ronpa games and stuff. Yeah, the third one's in development. It's probably not going to be out for like a while though. Like very early, they're still thinking up story things. It's just basically kind of like, sort of say how like
Confirmation.
It's sort of like that. I'm just trying to piece together what it kind of reminds me of. It's kind of like how EA during last E3 and stuff like that just basically put all of these little teasers and stuff about Mirror's Edge and like Battlefield and do all this other shit and stuff. So I'm happy that the Danganronpa 3 is in development, since the first two games, they're very good. And for those who have a Vita, seriously, if you're into these type of games, the murder mystery stuff, pick them up. They're that great.
Yeah, I'm I've talked about this when you've talked about it, but I just listening to you talk about it and like watching videos on it, I'm really interested in playing it. So I'm glad it's successful enough that it's getting a third one, not only in Japan, but it sounds like it's going to be released over here in the United States,
doubt,
or in North America. So that's good to hear it's selling well enough, and it raises hope that we might see it on the PS4.
I'm hoping too, because that game should be played by more people. It's like I said before, cross between 999 and like a Phoenix Wright, mixed inside of like a school setting. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sounds like an interesting game. So I'm glad it's getting a third one, and I hope, like I said, we get like a Danganronpa 1 and 2 like HD collection for the PS4 or something. I'll gladly put down like $40.
It's like Vegeta. It's like Vegeta. What's the power level on the freaking teddy bear? It's like, it's over. Oh, fucking Nappa. Let's just go on.
Anyway,
I hate you. But let's go ahead and move it on to the wrap up of the show. Let's go ahead and start off with our Wrestler of the Week.
For Wrestler of the Week things, I'm just going to go ahead and just not do it for this week, because I've already spoken a lot inside this episode. So we'll just hold it off for next week.
Alright, no problem with that. Let's go ahead and then with the Trivia of the Week. You got something for me?
I do.
Yay.
This is from last week's major game release.
Yay.
And I know, since Jack, you and I nerd out about this a lot.
Okay.
Oh, fuck you guys.
Alright, Jack, you're familiar with Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
Yep.
You know Takahaka, the I want to say writer of Abridged?
Yeah.
He has a voice in Xenoverse.
Really?
Yes, if you're creating a male character, he is voice number 8.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
Oh my god. Dude, if I ever get that game, I'm seriously just gonna go ahead and just make a character and just have his voice and stuff, because that would be fucking hilarious.
If I hadn't given my information to Sean, because we were going to do a Let's Play, I would have given it to you and you could download it for free.
Oh, really? That'd be fucking awesome.
But I've already given my information away to Sean, so
that's okay.
He beat you to it, now you have to pay the $60.
No big deal. I'll just wait.
And that's my Trivia of the Week. Short, sweet, and Tyler's mad.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Yeah, God, guys fucking nerding out about Dragon Ball. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, god damn. Talking about one of the most popular animes in America or in the world, and it's a nerd entertainment podcast. God forbid we mention one of the best.
I'm sorry, Goku, but you've activated my trap card.
Oh, God damn it.
I just crossed that shit. Anyway.
Hey, Goku, you want to see my Pokemon? Too late, it's a trap card.
Oh my god.
I hate every single one of you right now.
Good, because there's only 2 of us.
Yes, every single one of you. I'll both of you. And I hate you guys so much. I hate Sean right now.
And he's not even here.
Nope, I hate Sean. I hate anybody that's ever guest hosted on this show as well.
So you hate Vincent, you hate Sam,
and you hate
Yoshi Fed,
and you hate yourself.
You hate.
Yes, I hate myself. I hated myself about 88 episodes ago, so it's about par for course at this point. Well, let's go ahead.
I'm just going through the motions.
Yeah. So let's kind of go ahead and get out of here. But if you guys want to hear more from us, we are on Facebook. We have a page and a group, Generation Gaming, a Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch page, Gen Gaming Net. All one word on those. So like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. And check us out on Twitch. Every now and again, we do some streaming. We haven't done it much lately, but we definitely need to get back into that.
I got my capture card back in the mail, so
Yay.
I can start recording again.
That's good.
And hopefully,
All right.
after I get a new job, I can settle down and edit.
But yeah, let's go ahead and close the show up. I was your host this week, Tyler.
I was the Jack of Hearts.
And I've been Dangan Ronpa fan number 1.
Fuck. God. That's this episode. Damn it. Alright, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Later.
Alan.